We are looking for individuals that understand what service means. We're looking for people that have the courage to put service above self. Our detention center is an excellent place to start a career. Many spend their entire career in our detention center, and I love to see that.
My name is Major Tommy Tolley. I've been with the Brunswick County Sheriff's Office since 1999. For the past year, I've had the opportunity to be the major over the Brunswick County Sheriff's Office Detention Center, which has been a wonderful experience for me. My career started on road patrol, through K-9, through Marine Patrol, short stint with detectives and narcotics, and now it's kind of bringing me full circle back to where a lot of officers began, a lot of detention deputies began. I'm kind of coming into it at the latter part of my career, and it's just as fulfilling as every other division I've ever worked in.
Well, my name is Willie McRae. I've been with the Sheriff's Office since February of 2018. I always knew I wanted to be in law enforcement. My aunt, she actually worked in detention, she still does. So she gave me the idea of working there and seeing how you like law enforcement, and that's what I did. I was terrified, honestly.
I think initially when anyone starts, there's an initial fear. My name is Christina Wilson, and I've been with the Sheriff's Office for a little over 4 years. Growing up, I wanted to be a veterinarian and work with animals, and so coming to this field is a whirlwind and was nothing like I expected.
Hi, my name is Moraima Diaz. Everybody calls me Maury. I've been working for the Sheriff's Office for 10 years total, for 30 years. All my life I've been around law enforcement. Well, my father was a police officer for 30 years, so I kind of grew up under this environment. I went to college for 5 years, got a bachelor's degree in criminal justice, criminology.
One of the biggest things we teach and encourage and expect in the detention center is professionalism and respect to be given to each co-worker and to the inmates as well.
We want our officers to be treated with respect, but we also want to make sure that our officers are treating the inmates with respect.
Yeah, I do get a lot of respect out of the inmates. The main thing is treat them like people, like what they are. We're all the same. They just made a mistake.
And as a female, you're walking into a block. We work with male inmates, and we walk into these blocks every day, and it just turns out that respect is given where respect is due. That's being polite and doing your job and being professional is definitely what puts you on point and puts you.
Whenever you're in there treating the inmates, you treat them how you want to be treated. They come up to you and they ask you questions, and you give a quick response, and you're kind of short with them, and you have a hardened shell around you. They're not going to respond well to it.
Sheriff Ingram expects nothing less but professionalism and integrity by our detention officers and our deputies, whether they're in the road or whether they're in the detention center or any other division within inside the Sheriff's Office.
I'm very thankful for the work that our detention officers do day in and day out. They don't get a lot of thank yous because they don't have a tremendous amount of interaction with the public. It's more about their interaction with the inmates.
They'll see you on the street and they'll say thank you. Have a lot of people coming back to me, thanking me for everything that I said to them, encourage them. Those are the best.
Probably one of the coolest experiences I have was a lady was having the sign over rights to her child, and I simply just looked at her and said, "Ma'am, I'll pray for you." And that simple statement, she looked at me and started crying. She said, "I have never, in the 40-some years I've been alive, had anyone ever tell me they'd pray for me."
You have to be prepared, not only physically, but mentally. More mentally than physically. Because it's a stressful job, but it's a wonderful job.
Probably one of the biggest challenges is finding your ground. Finding that gray area where you're doing your job, you're still treating them like human beings, because they are.
But once you get in there and you see the type of people they are, it could be your neighbor, it could be your cousin, anybody like that, it humbles you a lot.
Working in the detention center as a supervisor and now as the major over that division, it's really given me the opportunity to build the team environment there, and to help them learn to become better detention officers, and some to become future deputies.
Well, in the whole Brunswick County Sheriff's Office, this is a family. Of course, the jail is going to be a family as well. If you hear one of your co-workers, if they're on the radio and they're telling you, get to me now, that's exactly what you do. It's the same thing if your brother was yelling for help, if your mother was yelling for help, if your grandma was yelling for help. You get that same sense of urgency as in the jail, and that's what I loved about it. Even our sergeants, our first sergeants, I've seen our chief, I've seen our lieutenant in the jail when they're back in the back. Somebody's yelling for help, they were running out that door and they were coming to them. And that's something that I think is very important.
We depend on each other, and it's not even just inside the walls, the concrete walls as we call them. It is outside the walls. It's someone that you can call on that understands the struggles. They understand that, you know, when we go home, we still think about the things. We try not to, but you can't leave everything at work. But it is definitely a family. It's a unit. We're a team, just like a regular family. They get on your nerves. You bicker, you fight, and tensions get high, and you may snap once in a while. But at the end of the day, I know that I have a good crew that has my back, that we can laugh and cut up and have a good time. But when push comes to shove, I know that they are there, no questions asked. There's a sense of unity.
A majority of our deputies that start here do begin in the detention center, which gives them a great opportunity to learn. I definitely see the value of a young officer beginning in the detention center. You're almost a little street smarter before you ever hit the streets.
They can find a vast amount of knowledge back there with the proper way to interact with people. It's in a controlled environment versus being out on the street. So it affords officers that are looking to start a career, maybe spend their entire career in a detention center or transition to other areas of the sheriff's office later on. But it affords them a really good foundation upon which they can build a very good career. Having the ability to communicate well with people, honing that skill back in the detention center is something I also think is invaluable.
So that's something that I learned in the jail. Doesn't matter who they are, got to talk to them the same way. Same thing on the road. Doesn't matter who they are, doesn't matter what they did, you got to talk to them the same way. Really, I highly suggest everybody that if you're thinking of working in this profession, get your feet wet and starting with the jail, because everything that you deal with out on the road, you got to deal with reports, you have to deal with the good and the bad. You're going to start like that in the jail. And it molds you and it gets you prepared for talking and interacting with the public.
Being in here first and then going out and using this as a stepping stone, it is a great stepping stone that I think should be required. No matter how much experience someone has, they should be required to step in, because not only are you learning the inmates and the people that you're working with on the outside when they get out, but you're also learning the process. You understand what it takes to be in there day in and day out. And there's a whole new respect level that I see from people that have stepped into the detention center first, whether that was to stay there forever or not, than people that have never step foot in the detention center ever. They have a new respect for it for sure.
We have a lot of young officers, a lot of very intelligent people, and they are so eager to learn, and they want to help these people. They want to help them become better part of society. It's not just about coming in and locking them down and holding them here till they're gone.
It's all about being patient and understanding, encouraging the inmates to do better, encouraging to have a better life.
So here in the detention center, we have 4 shifts. On each shift, there's a first sergeant, 2 sergeants, and then approximately 15 detention officers and deputies that are working the floors and handling the inmates.
I thoroughly enjoy the schedule. I don't think I would ever be able to do a Monday through Friday job ever again. We do 7 to 7, 4 on, 4 off. So after 4 days of working, I get 4 days off. It's like little mini vacations every single week.
There's a lot of possibility to be promoted up through the ranks and to move up once you have shown yourself as a strong detention officer, a reliable detention officer, and a positive asset to the Brunswick County Sheriff's Office. We need people we can count on, people we can trust, people that will be there in the time of need. Of being professional, respectful, have integrity, and dependability are just a few of the requirements that we're going to ask of you.
You have to be a people person.
Professionalism is absolutely needed. Professionalism, being down to earth, compassion, and empathy, not sympathy.
You have to be able to relate, and you have to be able to talk to people. And if you are just kind, you got to be kind-hearted.
We want to make sure this is a great working environment for everyone here, and we really want strong teammates on our team.
I thoroughly enjoy it. I don't have a boring day. There's always something going on, and even when there's not, and when there's not, you enjoy it. You have your rough days, but I think any job you have your rough days. But is it a job for everyone? Absolutely not. It's a very select few that get back there and they thrive.
I encourage people to find out more about our sheriff's office. They can go to our website, or they can come to our main office. They can ask our officers on the street or detention officers that they'll see in the community. But it's a great career path.
If you have any desire to be on a strong team and be a stronger teammate, then the Brunswick County Sheriff's Office Detention Center is a good place for you. Whether you have intentions to be a deputy down the road or detention officer is your career, which is a great career in itself. Some people in general wonder if they have the toughness or the tenacity or the gumption to get in there and deal with inmates. Through coming and talking to our recruiting division, you'll learn more about what's expected, what's it like. But I can tell you, it's not about your muscles, it's about your heart, it's about your mind, of how you interact with people. If you treat people with respect, they will in return give you respect. We're here to do a job, and our job is to take care of these inmates, and we're going to do that. And that's really what it's all about.
And the detention center is one of the most important divisions we have, and we have a great group of men and women back there serving each and every day with great expertise and poise, and I'm very proud of them.
I mean, I love what I do. I really love what I do. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. I love it. I love it, and I won't change it. I won't trade this job for anything. That's how much I love it.
I encourage people to, if you're looking for a place that's unlike any other, and you have that courage to put service above self, then this just might be the place for you.